Thank God, it's a Tuesday. Ngayon ay February 22, 2022. 2-2-2-2-2, ha? Na swerte daw to, no? At welcome sa edisyon na ito ng The Stock Market Today. If this is your first time in this channel, ako po si Benji Chidoro, isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market. Noong 2007, ginagawa ko po itong report araw-araw, which I started August of 2020. Nire-report ko rin po ang latest news on your favorite and most active stocks. If you like the content, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. And if you have stocks in mind that you want reviewed, please comment on the comment box and I will prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor, so anything in this channel should not constitute financial advice. Okay po, ang ating financial news ay tungkol sa RL Commercial REIT at SM Prime Holdings at ang resulta ng trading sa ating PSEi ngayong araw 2-22-22 dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Okay, let's start with our financial headlines muna. Okay, so ito, no, ASEN switches to 40 megawatt solar power storage units. Then RL Commercial REIT books 1.68 billion net income. Good news po yan. And then SM Prime Holdings earns 21.88, up 21%. PLDT Group, Domino's Pizza team up to enhance services. Okay, so let's start with RL Commercial REIT. Okay, RL Commercial REIT or RCR said it booked a 1.68 billion net income in 2021, surpassing expectation thanks to the company's stable revenue stream and operational efficiency. In a disclosure to the exchange on Monday, the company said the 14 buildings and its portfolio achieved high occupancy, allowing it to log 2.09 billion pesos in revenues. The company said it also made health and safety investments for its buildings, which include adding hybrid metal detectors with thermal scanners and infrared activated alcohol and soap dispensers. RCR said its board of directors also approved a better than expected dividend yield for the year at 2.092 per outstanding common share, bringing the total declared dividends to 0.154 apiece. So mamaya tingnan po natin ang RCR, and then higher than projected dividend yield is a testament to the strength and quality of the assets of RCR President and Chief Executive Officer Jericho Pigos said. Okay, so yan po ang ating main news, and mamaya tingnan po natin si RCR. And let's go to our next news item. SM Prime earns 21.8 billion, up 21%. SM Prime Holdings Inc. posted a 21% increase in consolidated net income last year to 21.8 billion, the property developer reported on Monday, saying it sees recovery in the horizon after the challenges in the past 2 years. In its disclosure to the exchange, the company said it also generated a 6.2 billion consolidated net income in the fourth quarter without giving a comparative figure as revenues grew 20%. As we begin to see the result of the joint effort by the government and private organizations to manage the pandemic, SM Prime is set to pursue business expansions with broader funding options available locally and internationally, SM Prime President Jeffrey C. Lim said. Consolidated revenues for the October to December period amounted to 25.5 billion from 21.2 billion year-on-year. The company also recorded a 67% operating income growth to 10.8 billion from 6.5 billion previously. For 2021, SM Prime's consolidated operating income grew 11% to 32.4 billion from 29.1 billion a year later. Its residential business-led SM Development Corp logged 45.9 billion revenues, while its sales take-up reached 98.9 billion in 2021. SMDC was able to launch 8 projects in 2021. These include high-rise and mid-rise condominium developments and house and lot residential projects. So yun po, no, yung ating main news for the day, at tingnan natin kung meron pang iba. No? This is the top stories. And ito po, no, yung oil prices po natin ay tumataas because of the tension in Ukraine and between Ukraine and Russia. And okay, yan po ang ating pinaka-report sa stock market. Kung meron po kayong gustong ipa-review na stock, paki-comment lang po sa comment box. At ngayon ay meron ba kayong, tingnan po natin kung meron po kayong mga messages dito na gusto nating ma-acknowledge. New subscriber, welcome Morgan Victorio. Okay, and then welcome new subscriber Chofilo Nieto. Tapos clarification please, February 21. Tama po yun, si Chito Gomez, sabi niya nakita niya February 14 yung kahapon. Na-correct na po natin yun. So February 21 na po yung caption. Maraming pong salamat. Okay, so let's now go to the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Philippine Stock Exchange Index on what happened today. The PSEi gained 68.66 points, 0.93% up to finish at 7440.91. So this was a reversal of 2 days trade, no? Actually, yesterday it was also down, and for the third consecutive day, but this time there was a bounce. So yung ating mga indicators, yung ating 100-day exponential is acting as support, but the higher support would be the 50-day exponential moving average at 7,300. So normally dun po nagbabounce, but there are some overshoots here which would make the 100-day EMA as our secondary support. So when we now go to let's now go to our market summary. 98 companies declined, 94 advanced, while 54 remained unchanged. Meantime, the all-share index also advanced 21.85 points or 0.56%, so it's slightly lower than the index. The sectoral indices ended mixed. The financials and properties were down and almost flat. However, most of our sectoral indices are up. The holding companies, industrials, mining, and services were up, led by the holding companies at 1.91%. So let's now view our most active stocks, and by the way, it's the listing date today of CREIT, Citicorp REIT. That will be our first stock to review, and it is the most active stock. Then we'll do RCR, SM, ICT, Dito, and Solar Power Nueva Ecija. By the way, I'd like to thank my host, Mari, for accommodating me in her wonderful residence. Salamat po. Pati internet pinahiram niya ako. Salamat po. Okay, let's start with CREIT. Yan. Ang IPO price po niya is 255, but it gained 11.37%. Let's put up the 15-minute chart. Yan, no? So yung first 15 minutes was the most volatile for the stock. In fact, it reached 294, no, from an IPO price of 255, and that is a gain of almost, check natin anong gain nito. 2.94 minus 2.55 divided by 2.55, you get, it went as high as 15% at one point during the day to a high of 294. But now It settled at 284 or 29 centavos up, 11.37 centavos or 11.37%. Yan. Ngayon po, tinatanong po ni Visa Assistant, Sir, based solely po sa chart ng CREIT today and technical sa opinion nyo, ano pong chances ng CREIT tomorrow? Aha, tingnan natin. Let's go to mukhang sideways siya Visa Assistance, mukhang sideways. Pero based kasi on the fundamentals, renewable energy ang negosyo nito. Actually, it's land which caters to structures involving renewable energy. So, maganda po yung kanyang prognosis, based on fundamentals. However, based po dito sa technicals, looks like it will just move sideways in the coming days, based on a 5-minute chart. Pero sa 15-minute chart, wala pa kasing technicals pagka 15 minutes, pero sa 5 minutes meron na So looks like it's moving sideways. RSI is a bit bullish at 55, but this is a 5-minute chart. So still anything goes with CREIT tomorrow. I cannot say for sure. Okay, Miss Visa Assistance or Mr. Visa Assistance. And then let's go to sunod natin si RCR. Ito ay isang REIT din, RL Commercial REIT. Robinson's Land. Gained. Teka, 5-minute chart to. Let's put up to daily. Naku. Yan. Bullish siya. RCR. And probably because of the earnings, it had a net income of 1.68 billion. This is the 2021 and it's up 91%. So maganda po yung earnings niya, and that is what's happening to the chart right now. It gained 2.77%. Kahapon pa, siguro kahapon meron ng inkling ng market that the earnings report of RCR would be good. Yan po. So it's already above our moving averages. RSI is also above the midpoint, slightly above at 52.96. But yung candlestick po ngayon ay, while it is engulfing or it is solid, there is volume, but the surge or the increase is not maiksi lang yung interval, para masabi po nating breakout, kailangan po yung interval ay at least 2 weeks, 1 or 2 weeks. The interval should be 2 weeks, and the surge should break the resistance. So at this point ay hindi pa niya nabe-break yung resistance, nandito po siya, yung kanyang resistance level. Yan po yung next resistance level niya, and it should be 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Actually, kung dito po ang resistance natin sa 8 ay maaaring na break, but the interval of the surge is just 1 week. Yun po ang tingin ko sa RCR. However, the trend of the stock is bullish at this point. Yun, meron po siyang dividend, That's 9.2 centavos per share, and the payment date is February 28. So abangan po natin yan kung kayo po ay holder ng RCR, ay meron po kayong dividendo if you have the stock before February 15. Yun yung ex-date po niya. Okay? So I would say na because of this volume, ay maaring magkaroon pa ng upside si RCR, although I don't consider this as a breakout. So maaari po magkaroon ng upside siya in the coming days. And then after RCR, let's do SM. Si SM, maganda ang profits. Ayan, yesterday, the candlestick was way down. And I don't know what happened here. Maaring nagkaroon ng market sentiment without any news. I would believe that this is market sentiment. However, there appears to be a recovery today. And yesterday, kung nakita niyo po ito, ay meron pong volume. And true enough, there was an engulfing green candlestick. Sinabi ko po kahapon na meron pong gap dito, no? Ito po yung gap kahapon eh. Let me check. Ito po yung gap niya. And sabi ko po na that gap will have to be filled. And it is now on the way, on that way that it will be filled. No? So yan po yung CSM. So maaring in the coming days ay makakakita pa po tayo ng upward increase in the prices of the stock as we see an average, more above average, we see an above average volume today. Okay, so but as it is now, it is the price of the stock is still below our moving averages. Kasi ang RSI po natin ay mababa pa po, no? Nasa 40.99, but it is inching upwards. So yung ating pinaka support ay, paano ba natin, yung yesterday, yung pinaka-support natin, let's do 1 week. Ito po. By the way, hindi po exact point ang support. Ito po ay isang area. So, pagka sinabi ko pong 842.81, hindi po yan eksaktong 842.81. Okay, so yan po ang pinaka-support, pero nag-bounce po siya. And because of the good volume that we are having, then we may see some upward movement in the coming days. Then after SM, CICT, the company of Enrique Razon. Yan. Okay. ICT is had a solid green candlestick today, gaining 3.77%. And yung ating mga indicators are moving upwards. And yung ating blue line, which is our 50-day exponential moving average, would form our support. So if we will be drawing a parallel channel, pwede po nating ma-predict yung pinaka-resistance niya. So our lower border would form the support, the upper border would form our resistance. So nasa 221.11 po yung pinaka resistance niya. Okay, the price is 220, so nasa resistance level na po itong si ICT. And tignan niyo po, no, yung movement ng stock has been consistently upwards. Yan po. Okay. Then after ICT, dito, naku, tumataas dito, ha. So yesterday I have shared with you that this is a breakout. Why? Because of the surge in price, no? So yesterday it had a surge of 13.97%. And this was accompanied by volume. So definitely this is a breakout. And as we can see, the breakout is also the breakout may accompany a consolidation, pero nagkaroon po ng continuation dito, no? While it is a short candlestick, a green candlestick, nevertheless there was an increase in prices. So maaring magko-consolidate lang muna ito or dumiretso pa po ito pataas dahil it's coming from a 4 peso 95 centavo level, ano? And there is volume now. There is volume also today, which I would say na in the coming days we may see an increase in the price of the stock. Okay, in the meantime, ang pinaka nearest resistance of dito, let's do a 1 week. Nandito po sa 854. Yan po ang pinaka nearest resistance niya. Nasa 690 na po siya. Then after dito, we have our final stock, SPNEC. Okay, nagkaroon ng bounce si SPNEC o si Solar Power Philippines. And while this is a green candlestick today, the candle is relatively lower than the previous day. No? So the closing price yesterday was at 186. It closed at 192. So nag-increase po siya, but it opened at a lower price. And if you will see yung ating indicator, yung 20-day exponential moving average has just crossed our candles, meaning maaring nagiging bearish na po yung stock. Yung ating RSI is neutral at 50.51. So abangan po natin, wala po kasing volume today. It appears to just to be moving sideways. Ito po yung pinaka-support natin. Ito po yung dating resistance na ngayon ay naging support. That's 1.67. Okay po? So, yan po ang ating report sa stock market February 22, 2022. So, 2/22/22. Ito po si Benji Chedoro. Nagpapaalala, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Hanggang sa muli, take care, God bless, and bye for now.